Hello, everyone, and welcome back into another episode of The Three View. Today, we are joined by Atlanta Capitals head coach John Bowkus. John, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good, good. Ready to get things started, but a few more weeks and then we'll be going.
I know it's coming quick. Summer's over.
It is. So let's kind of jump right on into things here. So you guys had a regular season record of 2023, 3-1. Can you kind of reflect on that season for us?
And you know what? We weren't a bad team last year. We lost some games that we probably shouldn't have lost. The biggest thing was we had five teams, six teams almost in a playoff run most of the season. So it was tough. Everybody was playing playoff hockey from about halfway through the year on. And if you take a day off, you lose one of those games, it's kind of hurt you. I'm glad for Louisiana going on. I thought they did a great job and they peaked at the right time, but they were one of the teams that we struggled with mainly coming down to the end.
And what are some of your biggest goals for this upcoming season, and how do you plan on achieving them?
Well, I mean, the biggest goal, like anything else, is trying to move players on. I mean, that's number one, first and foremost. The second thing is we got to get in a playoff position. With recruiting and things like that, it's hard when you're not a playoff team or someone that's actually in the top four all the time, and that's kind of our goal going along. And is we'd love to win every year, but the biggest thing is if we can move these players on and be in a position where it's easier to recruit kids because of your record and things. That's what we're kind of shooting for.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked about moving those players on. Can you talk about the group that you did have advance to higher levels?
Well, in reality, I had three 2003s and a '04 that's moving on. I've got Anthony O'Neill who's going. He's with Maryland. Yeah, Black Bears, and he's hoping to stick in their main camp. He's a 2004, and I'm praying that he does. He's a great kid, and he's just one of those kids that's hard to replace. The other three kids were Robbie Aranis, who I don't think he's going to go to school at all. '03, really good defenseman. I think he had a lot of upside. I just think that family life's a little bit more important to him. Damian Van Daniker actually signed at Marion University in Wisconsin, so he's going to be playing there. And the last one was our captain, and he is just signed, I think, with Drury in ACHA D1.
And talk to us about the South Division. Like you said earlier, everyone's in a spot, in a race for playoffs and everything like that. So talk about your travel and, just the overall experience of playing in the South Division.
Uh, for me, it's been great. As a coach, it's been great. I should say we fly everywhere, which is nice. But it's the most inexpensive way to go places. And then when we get there, we rent either shuttles or vans, depending on the situation. Our big thing with the travel though is it's tough. Sometimes we'll go for 10, 12 days on the road to play six games. So you're playing six games in, 9 or 10 nights and then traveling home, getting up, losing a day of practice each week, and then having to go back on the road sometimes. So I mean, it's kind of tough that way. But everybody in the South Division's like that. With El Paso being so far out, El Paso, New Mexico. Those are long trips. Even on the east side with Louisiana, our closest trip is 8 hours by bus if we were going to take a bus anywhere. And it's a tough. The division itself. I mean, there's some powerhouses here, and it's been good to see. You see a lot of the teams very competitive and a great fan base, and some of those places, which is pretty good. But with eight teams, only four make the playoffs right now. I think it's tough on the recruiting because I actually lost a couple kids this year just because of they've got an opportunity to play in the playoffs right away because some of these teams in the other league they all make the playoffs. So I guess
Right.
that's their choice, and you know what, I'm okay with that. But our character should be good this year, and I'm looking forward to a tough team.
Well, thank you for joining us today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys this season.